Hello my friends, welcome to the Hermitage and another edition of A Parson's Progress. I hope I'm making progress. This morning I spent a time on my deck just doing some martial arts, sort of workout really. Then I thought really I need to be doing something to the house because my clerk of works is arriving tomorrow and if she doesn't see any progress, I'm for it. So what I've decided to do is have a fire and see if I can make a start on the kitchen. As you'll remember, it's an absolute mess, stuffed full of stuff, like the living room. So I'm working on that today. Anyway, see you in a mo. Well, we've got a flame going. I don't know if that stuff is fire retardant. That's the only. Oh, it's warm that. Better get out of the way. I don't know where it's. Well, it seems to be going anyway. Fortunately, there's nothing above it. There used to be so many trees that you couldn't really have a bonfire, but I think we're going to be all right in this case. Nothing above it. I'm going to shove some more stuff on top. I've been wanting to get rid of this box for ages, and that box is full of other boxes, and it's big. I think the fireplace came in that. Well, I'm all hot and bothered, and I ain't going to do no more today because I sweaty eyes. Anyway, I'll show you what I've done. I think it's going to take another hour or so just to finish off in the kitchen. Anyway, come with me. Well, there's the fire. That underlay or whatever the hell it is doesn't seem to like burning. It's probably fire retardant. But anyway, I had a go. I'm probably going to have to bag all that lot up, unfortunately. We'll see. I think it's probably just not getting any airflow underneath it. But come with me into the house. Oh, now this kitchen was top to bottom with absolute garbage. Some nice oak panelling is along that wall. It sort of continues, I think, upstairs. Not sure how much of it came into the main house. You've got some of it there. That's the sitting room where you're used to me speaking. Anyway, I've moved about 10 of those, full of decades and decades, full of cow shit, sheep shit, disintegrating muck and back droppings and goodness knows what. The only thing I didn't do today, because I'm jiggered, is dismantle the cold storage heater. That was in this ingle nook, which had an asbestos register plate, which is now gone, full of twigs, jackdaw twigs. Interesting, when this useless cement was put in rather than lime render, somebody's put the date of 1950 in there. Just to testify to the crap job they did. Anyway, so that's ingle nook number 2. In there a Stanley or a Rayburn will go, wood burning. You can see where they used to cook on that thing. That's going to have to get dragged out. So all that nonsense on that windowsill's got to go. But the main thing is that if I stand back, progress has been made. There was literally a complete and utter mountain in here of detritus, old carpets, old lino, all sorts. That's now gone. Creating hopefully, once I've cleared the storage heater and the oven away, and that wheelbarrow and that trolley, this can become again a usable space. God willing. Well, my friends, it's an opening, grand opening, something like that. Can't think straight because I'm too sweaty and too tired. I've got the kettle on over there for a hot shower. My pump is beating like a heart. I thought I'd give that some extra juice, so I got a powerful shower. Anyway, sorry, that's why I'm semi-naked. Let's have a look, fellows and fellowesses. I know what it is. It's come via DHL. Any guesses? You guessed it. Doesn't look like a lot, and it isn't a lot, because I don't like spending a lot, just in case customs and excise get hold of me. Now, I haven't tried this one before. Pesce Canoe Oriental Flake. You'll remember, if I have a look over here, that we had that stuff last time, didn't we? Pesce Canoe Latakia Flake. But I like an Oriental because I like Rattray's, is it? Or is it? No, it's Robert McConnell's Oriental. So I was just wondering what this one might be like. I hope it's not as dry as the Latakia. I mean, that really was dry. Principally, what I wanted was this. A bit of exotic passion. So I've got 2 bloody great tins of it, basically. 2 big tins of it. And that's all I got. And that's enough to be getting on with, really, isn't it? I'm just relieved it got through. Good evening, friends. Sun's finally come out. It's been a changeable weather the last few days. Sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's pouring with rain. Not a lot of rain today. I don't think there's any rain today. But cloudy, windy. Sun comes in and out. But not bad at all, really, the weather. I don't know what it's like where you are. I'm smoking my Church Warden, my fireside Church Warden. Principally because it's got a small bowl, and I've just had a big bowl of my exotic passion. So I'm already sort of reeling from nicotine. I'm drinking that Sauvignon Blanc, that the Fair Trade South African that you saw me buy the other day. It's quite interesting with this mic. It's like ASMR or whatever they call it. You hear all the gurgling and noises and all the rest of it. Ah, dear. Can't be helped. So I hope you enjoyed looking at the footage earlier. What was on it? Oh yes, I've been sorting out the kitchen. So I've got me Pesce Canoe Oriental in this. Never had it ever. Never smoked it ever. This is the first time ever. This is the first. And honestly, it was so dry. I mean, I thought the Pesce Canoe Latakia 20 was dry, but this was like, you can't rub it in the hand. It sort of turns to dust. I mean, it's so brittle. I'm going to have to rehydrate. I did that with the last lot, and that just makes it more malleable to rub out. Let's see how it goes. As I say, unbelievably dry. The tin note, when I was in the caravan, very spicy, very tangy and citrusy. Not sure what's in it. It's a lot more light brown, honeyed brown than the Pesce Canoe Latakia. Well, so far so good, fellows. It's odd, even though it's unbelievably dry, it's not a harsh smoke. I don't know how that works. That's nice. Yeah, really nice. Not too strong. No tongue bite? Well, it's too early yet. Yeah, you're getting all that citrus. Yeah, I was looking forward to that little haul coming. I'm glad it got through. Not least because I was down to my last tin of Perfection, Goworth. And it's all getting a bit samey. I've certainly got enough exotic passion to keep me going for a while. I like this. I might get this again. A nice mild, nice smoke. What's the wine like? I normally drink that white Rioja. They didn't have it in Tuffins. This is nice. Yeah. Fruity, refreshing, nice and chilled from my fridge. Got 2 bottles of that. Yeah, it's nice. Very appley. It's very refreshing. So anyway, yes, my haul came through. That's good news. I wonder if it's third time lucky. Although this should keep me going for a while. It works on the basis, I suppose, of the diminishing law of returns. In other words, you've only got to get a few of those through. And if one doesn't come through, you're still ahead. Let the reader understand. The Bishop Snortweed of Exhumed wasn't looking too happy. Despite putting slug traps, I think it attracts all. I think the flies like it. I don't know whether the slugs like it. One leaf had gone brown. Well, that's because I think it was touching the earth. Anyway, I've exhumed it. And it's in the greenhouse now. I thought I'd bring it on there till it's looking really healthy. Maybe flowered. That's my stomach. Can you hear it? I forget to eat sometimes. That's my stomach telling me it's time for a ham sandwich. So yeah, I've exhumed it. I've put it in the greenhouse. It's amazing how much I can get in those little greenhouses, and I've got another one to erect. What else has happened today? Well, you saw all the business in the kitchen. Anything I haven't done is pull up the last bit of flooring under which there are quarry tiles, and that is easy. It's very brittle, lifts up, you can just shovel it up. But I'd had enough by then, and I was filthy. So I had my forest shower, which was quite funny actually, because in the distance I could hear a tractor and it was getting closer and closer in the fields below. And no sooner I got out than the tractor arrived. The farmer would have got a shock. He would have seen Father John in all his glory. Might have enjoyed it. I doubt it. Anyway, I got out in the nick of time, got dried off. And of course I had to get dressed because I had to go and meet my Amazon driver. Quite funny. They have to ask your date of birth and your name and various other things to prove you're over, the legal age to take possession of alcohol. And the driver, he was a nice fellow from Poland, said he was with a 93-year-old the day before, and she had to prove that she was an adult. And he said it's ridiculous, and it is bloody ridiculous. But I suppose it has to be done. So I took possession of 2 bottles of Talisker Sky, and which I like. It's not the 10-year-old. In some ways, I prefer the just the ordinary Talisker Sky, and it was on offer, so I bought 2. But it's quite strong. I forget, it's 47%, 48, I don't know, it's quite a lot. It's 47.5% alcohol. So you get your money's worth. And I also took possession of a bottle of Jewish Passover wine. Now, normally I buy Mavro Daphne from Tesco, but as you know, I missed it because I had a siesta. I felt like a siesta today, frankly. But I would have missed the Amazon delivery, and I would have missed talking to you because I'd have been too knackered to have done a video afterwards. So I'm going to punch through my tiredness till bedtime, which is not a bad thing because I've been going to bed late, of late, and still getting up early, but just going to bed later. It's just stupid. There we go. So I got me 2 bottles of whiskey and my Jewish Sabbath Passover wine. Now, I'm not a Jew. I don't think anybody would accuse me of being an Israelite. But you see, there are certain canonical requirements for communion wine. Mavro Daphne fulfills them. There's no sulfates, it's untampered with. It's got to be pure. Now, you can buy communion wine from various retailers, but they charge about 4 times as much for the same thing, essentially. You're not allowed to use, sherry or port because they've got sulfates and all sorts of other compounds and things in it. And the church is quite strict about that. And even though I'm not one for rules and regulations, I try to abide by them when I can. I have used port in the past, in the Gulf War. You remember I was telling you about how I was a padre in the Gulf War, in the desert. The deserts of Arabia. I smuggled in about 20 litres of port into a dry, alcohol-free country, which I used for Holy Communion. So in the extremis, you can use port. And it always meant I had a noggin of port if I fancied it of an evening, which is quite fun in a Mohammedan country. And I have used port on occasion, but one shouldn't. So that explains the Passover wine. So I'm glad I've got that. And you will have seen on one of my videos this week how my priest's communion wafers have arrived. So I don't have to use artisan bread anymore. I have all this stuff, but it's in the container. I don't even have a chalice here. So until I can get over to Bucknell and retrieve my missalic apparatus, I bought a Kiddush cup. There's a sort of theme here, because on the Sabbath, Jews have their Sabbath meal, and they have the very wine that I bought. It is a Jewish wine from Israel, with their Passover meal. And they have the little cups, they're called Kiddush cups. And I bought one of those this week. I'm hoping it'll arrive before Mass for Sunday, because it is solid silver and quite small. And that is another canonical requirement of Mass, that the sacred vessel should be of precious metals. Ideally gold washed inside or gold-plated inside, the chalice. Now, again, I have all of this stuff. But I'm going to mend and make do in the short term. Now, a lot of this won't interest any of you. The minutiae of saying Holy Mass. But I like to do things correctly if I can. So that'll be good. And we'll see how we get on. I'll show you the Kiddush cup when it arrives. Slightly more sacred than my snap-on nuts, of which I was absolutely deliriously happy. There's only a 10mm socket and a 8mm socket missing on that set. Well, they're not missing, they've been replaced with a more modern, a cheaper variety. I've already ordered a 8mm, I just need a 10mm socket now, and that lot will be complete. It's a metric, it is a metric set. But I've got my eyes now on an imperial set as well. It's addictive, you know, it's like pipe smoking. So the whiskey arrived, the wine arrived, what else? There was about another 20 slugs in my my beer potion that I put out every night. I'm going to put some IPA out tonight, see if they like that. And even though the plant's now gone, but even so, I'm just going to keep the ruddy slug population down, I think. Lisa's coming tomorrow, God willing. That's why I thought I'd better get a jog on. With renovations like, you know, sort out kitchen. It'll only take a little work to finish that kitchen off now. I might have to get my refectory table out of the container and put it in there. So yeah, it'd be nice to clean that place up. Get it looking, well, a bit like this room. I mean, it's not entirely tidy, this room. But it, I don't know, it makes you feel that you're getting somewhere, I suppose. Ghastly concrete pointing everywhere. Yeah, I shouldn't be too hard on them. Maybe that's just how things were done then. This is good, by the way. I think I could recommend it. I'm sure Chris over at Harriet Pipes has a bit of that Pessi Canoe Oriental. I get recommended to have all sorts, but I don't know whether you can get it in this country. I've been watching on television. If you haven't seen it, I should watch it. It's called Apparitions. It was a series that came out years ago. Very well acted. All about priests and nuns and demon possession and fabulous. Long series. Called Apparitions. I don't know what it's on, but it's free. So you may have to shout at your Alexa to find it for you. And I've been watching Mansfield Park on the telly as well. A very early serialised one. I don't know whether it's 70s or 80s. And now for some people, modern audiences, it would be like watching paint dry. Because it follows the script religiously. Well, I love it. I love all that Georgian English. So it's a slow burn, but extremely relaxing. And knowing some of my viewers, as I do now, because I read all the comments, I got back to a few of you today, you'll have seen. But knowing some of my viewers, I think they would enjoy watching Mansfield Park. Very relaxing. Lovely sort of, it doesn't require too much excitement. Just a nice thing to have on, like listening to the opera. So tonight, unless there's a really good film that I've missed, I always have a look to see what films have come out, that are free, of course. But if there is no film that I want to watch, I shall watch Mansfield Park, followed by Apparitions, and watch people possessed by Beelzebub. Do you remember Blackadder? I think some of you Americans might even have seen Blackadder too. It was a sort of serialised comedy. Went through all the ages, from medieval and Georgian and the whole lot, Elizabethan times. And there's a wonderful scene with the baby-eating Bishop of Bath and Wells. He has a lovely expression, which I use sometimes now. He goes, "By the horns of Beelzebub." There's one scene where he's caught in flagrante delicto with a man. Not unusual in the church. And he's having a go at Blackadder for having caught him in the act. The idea being, of course, that they're going to blackmail him. I don't know whether they owed, I think he might have owed some money or something. But they didn't take a snapshot because there's obviously no iPhones in those days. So somebody was actually drawing away and painting away in the background very quickly. All mad, really. And afterwards, when he sort of pulls his legs, swings his legs over the bed, and he's in his nightdress, this bishop, the baby-eating Bishop of Bath and Wells. He looks at Blackadder and fixes him with his eyes. He goes, "Blackadder, you are the most obnoxious, lascivious, disgusting, verminous creature that I've ever encountered. Have you ever considered a career in the church?" I love the baby-eating Bishop of Bath and Wells. I think we should have more like him. There's nothing new under the sun, is there? Corrupt bishops. I think it was St. John Chrysostom that said the road to hell is paved with the skulls of bishops. They're a funny lot. Some very godly ones amongst them, of course. Yes, I'm rather enjoying this. So I watched Apparitions, and I shall probably watch it again tonight. I do like a spooky film. Do you? I like a spooky film. I like anything with the Catholic churches and priests and nuns, and I consume them with alacrity. Don't know why. I always have. Do you remember The Exorcist? What a bloody film that was. Do you remember when it first came out? I was 14. I was the same age as the girl who got possessed. And I read the book before the film. Well, I couldn't see the film. I was too young. I got as far as 3 chapters, and it scared the bloody hell out of me. And I put the book in the garage. I couldn't bear to have it in the house with me. There was something absolutely evil, almost contained within the pages. It didn't just depict evil. There was something quite evil about it almost contained the evil within itself. And people said that about the film too. And people were all puking up in the cinemas, and there were nuns and priests outside offering counselling. Do you remember? Back in the 70s. I mean, it was a sort of a breakthrough film in a way. Up to that point, we'd only had Hammer House of Horror and Christopher Lee playing Dracula. And they weren't really scary at all, were they? But by gum, when it first came out, The Exorcist, really scary. Did any of you watch it? When it came out? Of course, I've seen it a couple of times since, as an adult and as a priest. I didn't find it remotely scary. It's very aged now, very dated. I suppose we're used to that sort of thing now. But in its day, it was considered very frightening. And still is a little bit. Still is. And of course there's a lot of truth in it. One does come across the possessed occasionally. It is a thing. I've encountered it a few times. But it's very rare that you meet somebody who is entirely possessed of evil. But they are there. They are out there. Not that I'm encouraging you to dabble in such things. But it was good. I enjoyed it. So I've always liked a horror film. I like spooky films. There was one ridiculous film with Russell Crowe. That was a waste of time, don't watch that. It was supposed to be based on the life of Amorth. I think he was the diocesan exorcist in the Vatican, in Rome. Performed thousands of ruddy exorcisms. It's supposed to be based on him. A load of rubbish. It just became completely Hollywood and silly. There's a far better one with Anthony Hopkins called The Right, if you haven't seen it. But, yeah. The one about Father Amorth with Russell Crowe, forget it. Absolute garbage. Totally sensationalises the whole thing to the point of ludicrosity. Ludicrosity? Ludicrosity? Yeah, I'll go with that. Anyway, my friends, no sermon as such. Just a brief catch-up with what I'm up to. I better get something out of the freezer. I don't know what I'm going to... I had that steak last night. It was nice. Might have fish tonight, I think. But I'm well, despite being tired. But I'm tired... You know, it's that nice tired, isn't it, when you've actually achieved something. And you've got nothing to do for the rest of the day. So if I have an early night, I have an early night. Before Lisa cracks the whip. It'd be nice to see her. Sure, what we'll do, I'm sure there's lots of little fiddly jobs. You need to get the hurdling up on the top bank there. We keep sort of putting it off. Because those things that you drive the poles in, it's hard work, isn't it? Sort of putting it off, really. It needs to be done. You need to make a start on it. So if we do, well, you'll certainly see. Now that's about the size of it. I don't think anything else has happened, my friends. I'm going to go off now. I'm going to love you and leave you. And, yes, if you ever want to see that clip, I think it'd be on the YouTube anyway, the baby eating Bishop of Bath and Wells. If you put that in, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's hilarious. But in the meantime, you take care. God bless you all. God go with you. And all things being equal, I'll see you tomorrow night. Cheerio. Father John, signing out.